I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're discussing a powerful book, a compelling book. It is called Chains of Autism and is written by a wonderful author. Her name is Yvonne Sanderson. It is a powerful story of resilience, determination, and a mother's unwavering love. Yvonne's journey to find support for her autistic son despite obstacles and setbacks is an inspiring testament to hope and perseverance. If you're ready for a story that highlights the power of dedication in the face of adversity, you won't want to miss this conversation, and you certainly won't want to miss this terrific book. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put her in the spotlight today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Yvonne, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Logan, for taking an interest in my book. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's a fascinating book, and it really is a story of love and determination. Tell us a little bit about the struggles with your son, when they began, and what happened.
When my son wasn't developing after he had the virus at 4 months old, he wasn't developing as a normal child you would expect to, and no one would listen to me. No one would take on board what I was trying to say. And then when they finally did, after a number of years, they said he had to go for tests, analysis of what the behavioural problems could be. And the diagnosis was he was autistic. And I did not know anything about autism, didn't even know what being autistic meant. I just knew that the label didn't mean anything to me. It's just I wanted to find out why my son was behaving the way he was. They couldn't give me any information other than just, well, put your son in a home, concentrate on your daughter, and that was that. And I couldn't accept that. I just wanted explanations for why he was behaving the way he was. They couldn't give me anything. So, having taken the list of special schools that I could have sent him to at any time, I set about then saying, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to find out why he is the way he is. And that was it. I opted out the system. And they were quite happy for me to do that.
Yeah, you had a lot
And
of resistance. They wanted you to put him in a home. They
yeah,
wanted you to give him medication to calm him
yeah,
down. What,
that's right.
when you did dig down and drill down and try to find out what was wrong, what did you find out?
I just found out there was very little help out there. But what I did find through searching in libraries, two names of clinics, one in Israel and one in Pennsylvania. I wrote to both the clinics. One in Pennsylvania answered me and said they work very closely with the clinic in the UK, and the one in Israel said they wouldn't see him until he was 8 years old, which I couldn't accept. So the one in the UK I wrote to, and they dealt with children usually with brain injuries, which they're willing to talk to me, and I had to go and find out what they could offer, what they could help me with my son. That's the one I went along with.
Now, you mentioned your son and a virus early on in our conversation. Do you feel this virus was responsible for his autism? Tell us a little bit about that part of the story.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. He was quite normal birth, normal, development up to 4 months old, and then suddenly he got the virus at 4 months old. And having witnessed what he was like in hospital, I just knew a mother's instinct. I just knew it was going to affect him in some way or other later on. I just knew that myself, and not knowing in what way. Um, I just knew that was going to affect him.
Tell us about the private clinic that dealt with children with brain injuries. Did they help? How did they help? Tell us about your experience there.
They helped with. We had to go for a week's assessment, and they worked on sensory. the sensory side of our body, and everything that they came up with made sense to me. My son couldn't cope with anything in the what we call in the real world. He didn't like clothes on his body. He didn't. He was reacting to every single person that come into contact with him. But when the clinic I found worked on his, they videoed everything for a week and came up with a program at the end of the week and said, your son has sensory issues. This is why he's behaving the way he is towards people he doesn't know. This is why he doesn't want clothes on. This is why he's reacting to different sounds. Everything related to his sensory issues, and that made sense to me.
Oh, he
That
has
did,
these sensory issues that make him, react strongly in
yeah.
situations and to things, including clothes, as you mentioned. What was done to help him deal with these basically overactive sensory systems, right?
They gave me a program to work on, as many hours as you want in the day, as many, as much as you want. But I was working on it as much as I could. Different sounds, different smells, introducing him to different smells, um, with aromatherapy oils, different materials, different sounds he could cope with. It was all a very, very intense program working on the intense sensory issues, and that I could relate to. And also an audio tape which had to be played 12 times a day, a couple of minutes a day, but the sounds were very soothing, very relaxing, different sounds, but they were helping him calm down. And that is why I began to realise it's his whole sensory issues were so acute that he couldn't cope in the real world. He couldn't.
Yeah. How did he fare? As time passed, you worked with this clinic, you did the aromatherapy with him, you played the tapes with him, you tried to calm him down. Did you ever get to a point where um, it was better?
Yes, I did.
Tell
I
us
did.
about that and how you got there.
I did. And I worked on the tape, I worked on the program. I was ticking everything off daily, and it was like a 12, 15 hour program, 18-hour program, because he didn't sleep at night. So I carried on through the night. And I thought, well, the more I worked on the program, the more he would respond, to what we were doing. And 3 months later, when two people from the two therapists from the clinic came out to see us at home, he actually recognised them and welcomed them into our home. Something that I would never ever have thought could happen. And he went through the program, and that's what they explained. Well, this is progress. I
Yeah,
didn't see it as progress, but it was progress because he welcomed them into the home. He remembered them. He went through the program with them, and they just, said he is progressing with the program. It can work. Just carry on doing it, and that's what I decided to do.
wonderful. And music was a pivotal part of his rehabilitation and development as well, right?
Yeah, music.
Mhm.
I didn't think about the music side of things because obviously he's trying to manage his behaviour was the main issue. But music, we were just sort of trying to. I was trying to help him prepare lunch in the kitchen one day, helping him to, encouraging him. And we had the radio on, and there was one song on there, A Wonderful World, Louis Armstrong, and he liked the music, he liked the sound, and he wanted to listen to it again. And I thought, well, hang on, this is another pathway that we could perhaps, explore. And that's where I went along with music. I thought, yes, we must do more with this, because music was another link that was helping me to find another way to help with his speech, language development, and that's how I went along with it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, you mentioned you have a daughter as well.
I
How
do.
did that relationship go? How did your daughter handle all of the attention that your son absolutely needed? What was that dynamic like?
No, no, that sadly it didn't work out because obviously she resented the attention her brother needed. As much as I tried to explain, no, she resented it and therefore resented him, resented me, and didn't, the relationship deteriorated and still has to this day. Sadly it has. She
That is
couldn't accept it, and that's the sad side of trying to deal with an autistic child, a parent that doesn't another parent that doesn't accept that their child's autistic, and the siblings that are affected can't really cope with it either, and that's really the sad side of it.
is sad, and
Yeah,
it's tragic. I mean, certainly that wasn't your goal or hope. You wanted things to be as normal as they could be within the context of your family, but it's a lot to deal with as a young person. You were younger at the time as well,
yeah.
and it's tough, very tough. These are, very big challenges. How's your son today?
He is progressing. He is still enjoying his music, very much enjoying his music. He's enjoying learning to play keyboard. He can also play classical music. And it's an area where I didn't think we would ever reach, because music wasn't something I thought about as a pathway. But it has been a pathway, and still is a pathway for him, and he's enjoying it. He's really enjoying his music and still progressing, which I'm pleased to say. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Is amazing. And his first song
Yeah,
that he chose, Wonderful World by Louis
yeah,
Armstrong, is a great classic. So he's got good
yeah,
taste in music
yes,
as well.
yeah,
Folks at home, this is a wonderful book. It's called Chains of Autism. There's so many people out there whose children are suffering from autism, or they know someone who has autism, or there's somebody in the class or school who has autism. It's almost an epidemic at this point. There are so many cases of autism out there. You need to know about it, and you need to know what can be done, and what a difference a parent's love can make, and what some early intervention can do. And Yvonne Sanderson has put all of this in a powerful book. It is called Chains of Autism. It's a story of resilience, determination, and a mother's unwavering love. Yvonne, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
thank you, Logan. Thank you very much.
I
Thank you.
appreciate your time. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on
Thank you.
Spotlight.